Simone the Digger versus Kyle Rayner is my favorite episode of the year. Let's just get that out of the way. This of course is liable to change as more episodes drop, but my goodness, this episode blew it out of the park. That's the topic sentence of the entire video. I summed it up for you. If you just wanted to know if I liked it, the answer's yes. In fact, having watched a few episodes of Gurren Lagann many years back but not really getting into it, I decided to stick through the rest of it because why not, it seemed like a good time. And yep, the series is great, fantastic show, lives up to the hype. And you know what else lives up to the hype? Sega finally beat Chuck Norris. And I can actually explain how that happens with a bit of help from my friends. Take it away, Simon. Thanks, Upside Down Man.
Hey, it says here we've got a final verdict on Chuck Norris vs. Sega Sanshiro. How did that happen?
It's pretty simple. Chuck is limited to only universal power. Sega just scales higher.
That doesn't seem right. Sega only scales to that missile, right?
I hate to tell you this, but with the power of our sponsor G Fuel, Sega's real power can come out.
What?
If you ain't know, now you about to know.
What?
G Fuel contains 0 calories, sugars, or carbohydrates. It's your vegan-friendly plant-based energy formula.
I failed to see what that has to do with it.
I'm not finished. It comes in over 50 flavors, available in both tubs and cans.
What? Hey, he's got a point, Kyle.
Who invited you? Tenga Topa Gurren Lagann!
Oh! Okay, listen here, buddy. G Fuel isn't suitable for kids under the age of 18. Its caffeine content means you should drink responsibly.
My drill is the drill that will inform you of the hydration range that contains 0 caffeine.
Ooh! Huh. And how does this have anything to do with Sega Sanshiro? You don't have the will to scale him. You fear the possibility of Chuck winning unironically. Your greed for Sega's victory and anger at Chuck's actions motivate you. You love power scaling too much. You have no compassion because you're a power scaler. And I hope that—
shut the hell up. Fuck Chuck!
Yeah.
Fuck Chuck! Sega scales to the main villain of Project X Zone. He's multiversal!
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'm a big fan, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, you could just go to the link in the description and use code BloodRef for 20% off your order at G Fuel.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, can you sign my construct?
What? So going in, this is a pretty exciting episode for me. While I tend to be a bit worried when it comes to Death Battle handling characters I'm passionate for, Simone seemed like he'd be the most impossible to mess up. He's perfectly built for a series like Death Battle, and when you know it, they pulled it off wonderfully. Analysis-wise, Simone absolutely swept Kyle. Simone has a few issues. I think the main one is that they kind of go past the first half really quick, gloss over his time as president of the United Whatever, and go straight into the anti-spiral stuff, which, like, yeah, a bit annoying, but not that big a deal. They didn't, however, at any point name drop my goats Kitan or Simone's co-pilot Viral, which was big sad. Well, no, my biggest issue is that, unless I missed it, there was no Getter Robo, Marzinger, or Gal Gaigar rep in the analysis. We got bitch-ass Gridman, but no Getter Robo. That's the basis for Gurren Lagann as a whole. It's just Getter Robo, but if the psychopaths were piloting a robot that becomes God instead of Satan. I really like that they start the analysis as if Kamina is the protagonist, though. It's pretty damn perfect for how the show even does it. With the opening scene that initially seems like it's showing Kamina leading the forces of mankind, only to hit you eventually with, nope, that's Simone. I absolutely love how they convey the speed calc too. The little pause and stutter from Wiz felt so real. Like, if that was Benjamin himself realizing the ridiculous number in front of him, I genuinely believe it. I appreciate the way they discussed dimensional tiering as well. It wasn't anything crazy to me, but I think it was a good idea to do it that way. Just a great analysis, almost perfectly covering Simone's story, and somehow even making the ending of Gurren Lagann seem good. Kyle's analysis wasn't necessarily bad, but I don't know, it did not do it for me. Like, okay, they have a build-up of what a Green Lantern ring can do, this is cool, it all works. And then they just go straight into throwing out feats and stuff while leaving his story at just, so Hal Jordan did all this stuff and then Kyle also got a ring. I don't know, compared to how well Simone's analysis balanced feats and narrative, I just felt like Kyle's didn't really match up. They do come back around and make something of it. I do like how they go through his story when it comes to the White Lantern stuff, which makes sense, that's the big thing. I just find the start of the analysis to be a bit boring. Hearing them go over all the emotional spectrum was really sweet though, that was sick. I have really nothing else to say about Kyle's though. It's a good analysis, I just didn't think it was above pretty good. Something I probably wouldn't have even mentioned if Simone's wasn't so damn great. Of course, the fight is what people really want to see, and yeah, it's absolutely glorious. Beautifully hand-drawn episode, and unlike Among Us Fall Guys, people even acknowledge that it's almost entirely hand-drawn this time. So you might know by this point that story and character are what I look for most in a death battle, along with creativity, and this episode has it in spades. What might be my favorite part of the fight is actually the start on the ground, where we get to see a lot of creativity from Kyle. For the rest of the fight, once they go to space, he kinda just becomes more of a standard brawler, but really big. But when they're on Earth, we can really see him cycle through the various emotions, using a ton of constructs, and unlike the pragmatism we saw from Hal in his episode, here we get to see both Kyle's creativity and his dorkiness. Where Hal makes giant boxing gloves that are nice and direct, Kyle makes Balrog Sprite from Street Fighter because he's a gamer. Where Hal practically creates a fire extinguisher to stop some fire, Kyle's response to missiles is to use the Poltergust, which I mistakenly thought was a yellow lantern construct, but actually it's orange. Where Hal wraps up Ben with a rope, Kyle uses Shenron to do it. I actually don't have any more, Hal comparisons, because, Bozo barely used his damn ring in this episode. But, Kyle's other moves are all just references, which is perfect for his character. Those are from a Banbaro, there's Tiger Woods, and might I say, this is extremely funny. I also like how Simone has no idea what the hell Kyle means by 4, because, golf doesn't exist in his world. The whole segment on the ground is bursting with creativity and fun. It's super entertaining and what I love to see in Death Battle. That's not to say I dislike what comes after, because no, that shit is fucking awesome as well. This just has the creativity I want to see in the choreography of the land. Simone's "Who the hell do you think you are" is a bit weird because it's just playing into his already subversive catchphrase and making it played straight. It's no big deal though. The next segment, however, gave both me and my mate Donovan what we wanted to see. He wanted to see a White Lantern Superman construct, and I wanted to see my favorite form of Gurren Lagann, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. And not only did I get to see my favorite form, but I think it also got the most screen time of any form. I was genuinely a bit worried they jumped straight to Super because that's the one everyone talks about, but my big ass Eldritch Getter Robo ass weirdo got to shine and that's awesome. And the White Lantern construct being specifically of the Thought robot is really cool. Kyle made the strongest Superman he could think of, though with the face of a real Superman. I think it's kind of whatever transformation in terms of Kyle becoming White Lantern, it just kind of happens. But the Superman is cool, and seeing him use the weapons of Wonder Woman as green and blue constructs is also pretty cool. I absolutely love the fight here, and the kind of ham-fisted usage of the song lyrics and the dialogue is made more bearable by how the two bounce off each other. At that point it goes from ham-fisted and bad to really charming. I also just love the probability missiles and how they're portrayed, with Kyle objectively sending them to different points in space so they literally can't hit him, and they're getting hit anyway. Also, the heat vision from Superman being the Red Lantern napalm breath is really fun. Also, Simone then throws Kyle all the way to the source wall, which has to be the fastest speed feat that's happened in a fight, and that's awesome. But of course, the most hype moment is what's coming up. Not the drill clash for me, actually. No, for me the hypest moment is what's directly before and after that clash. Kyle blasting Simone with the life equation and the beat drop for Tear a Hole in the Sky, as Simone grits his teeth and gets back up with a spiraling power that leads to Super Tengen Toppa. And what comes after the drill clash is just absolutely sick. The final fist fight between the two is great, and with an even cooler drill clash due to the excellent Green Lantern oath cry that puts Howls in his episode to shame. The final clash is basically what I wanted for the ending, and Simone coming in with that Kamina-ass punch for the win was sick as hell. My goat clutched, and not just clutched, but fucking swept apparently. I do think the line, "let's see you grit those teeth," is a little weird in this context, but okay. Now that big drill clash was cool too, and Kyle doing the Alien X thing for the life equation was really cool too. It's just that, I don't know, it doesn't match the hype of what's around it to me. It's still fucking awesome, to be clear. It's just kind of big drill. This episode manages to have all that I love from both of the other two episodes this year that I like. It had the absolute hype and creativity of Spawn vs. Ghost Rider, with many of its own awesome moments across the board, tons of creativity early on, and a great representation of the realm beyond the source wall. Because I think it looks cool as hell, and the text floating around perfectly conveys its nature as more of a informational, conceptual sort of location. But it also has tons of character and the beautiful animation of Shigaraki Maito, especially with the ending where Kyle dies smiling and the ring floats up to choose Simone as his next user, leaving us off with Simone's line, it's all I could have wanted. It's a long string of awesome moments, beautifully animated with fantastic character moments, and a simple but effective storyline. Did I say moments twice in that sentence? Not to mention the track is absolutely sick. It gives us Will of the Drill 2 in Death Battle. And the voice acting is really good too. Kieran returns after last betraying Giorno and does fantastic as Simone, as does new V8 of the series Brandon Acosta with Kyle. It's just an all-around fantastic episode, and looking into those smaller details only made it better to me, elevating it from just a really good episode to an absolutely fantastic one. I don't know what I could have asked for more beyond a cooler White Lantern transformation that's not just he's here now. Maybe not having Simone be the one with all the best moments. It is a bit hard to deny. Once they get off the Earth, Kyle makes the Superman construct, but that loses and it kind of just gets bodied. It does the fighting, it gets hit with the missiles, then it gets thrown around. And then once they're actually in the source, Kyle gets to shoot the life equation, but that whole thing is a moment for Simone's character. And then his awesome drill is cool, but it's literally just him copying Simone. And then they go to the fist fight, and he folds in like 2 hits. It's hard to deny, Kyle isn't lame in this fight. Like, this is not a Maido situation where it just feels like he's kind of present. He's just significantly lesser in every way to Simone. Pause. Okay, Nemesis from the future here. Not to go back on what I just said entirely, but I have seen some people calling this episode Simone featuring Kyle. I just want to say that I disagree on that personally. While yes, I do think Simone got all the best moments here, having a direct character moment tying to his story, being the instigator of both dual clashes without losing either of them, having 2 fantastic transformations, whereas Kyle's is just kind of present and accounted for, and having basically all the best lines. I don't think it's fair to say Kyle is as unremarkable as the recent likes of Chief in the last episode, or Azura in this year's premiere. He gets plenty of time to shine on the ground, he manages to get Simone to geek out for a moment with the Superman construct, he's portrayed really well, and one thing I forgot to mention, I think he has even better character animation than Simone. Simone mostly just gets portrayed with like confident and badass, and he's him, but Kyle gets to show off a lot more character with some of how he's animated. I find them really charming, especially near the start. Probably most noteworthy, he is the only loser so far this year that's left actual damage on the winner. Every other victor comes off completely unscathed at the end of their fight, up to this point in 2025, but Simone, who has the best regeneration of them, short of maybe Spawn, is the one that comes out covered in blood and wounds. Kyle literally hit Simone so hard that he wasn't able to regenerate even on an informational level fast enough for his wounds to be gone by the time the fight ended. Kyle is lesser here only because Simone is so goddamn cool, and that's kind of the thing for me. A character coming off as less cool and being given less notable moments is not at all the same as them being actively lame or given no moments. This is not Chief getting bodied the whole fight while only landing 1 notable hit the entire time. This is not Azura failing to injure Kratos a single time and getting hard counted every turn without really pushing Kratos until the end. This is not fucking Mr. Elric landing no hits, drawing the wrong circle, slightly inconveniencing his opponent, and then probably giving up once they tell him to fuck off. Like, both characters get the upper hand at one point, which forces the other one to transform, and, you know, that's completely acceptable. You know, Simone gets his head knocked off, that doesn't inconvenience him much, he just transforms. Kyle gets stomped on by Tengen Toppa, blah blah blah, English, by Tengen... not English, Japanese, by Tengen Toppa, and he just goes white land, he's completely fine. Yes, Simone throws Kyle and pounds him through the source wall. Here's the thing, yes, that's a cool moment for Simone, but at the same time, all he actually accomplished was giving Kyle the chance to regain the life equation, something that I don't think he can just normally call upon at will for no reason. He can't just spontaneously summon it. The being knocked through the source wall basically put him in the realm where he could just call upon the life equation. And, you know, that allows Kyle to then push Simone to go Super Toppa Tengen. It's not that one got the upper hand the whole time, it's that they're constantly one-upping each other and forcing each other to get more powerful and evolve further until the final moment where they're done evolving, they've reached their respective limits, and now it's time to see whose limit goes further. I think that's really cool, and something I actually forgot to bring up in the real script for this episode. It's a fantastic little bit of writing that really goes to convey Gurren Lagann well. Less so Kyle Rayner, but I think Kyle, not only does he have less people who would be able to recognize that, whether or not that's an accurate element of his storylines, because he's just not as well known generally. I also think that with all the years of comics and the many different ways he's likely been portrayed, as well as how DC often mistreats him, I keep thinking of the death metal moment where he gets overwhelmed and the guys beating him up say, I wonder where the fridge is to put him in. It's more fair to have him play into Gurren Lagann style and do it really well. He feels like he fits in that style. It works for him. So I think it's unfair to say that this is just Simone featuring Kyle. Kyle might have less cool moments, in my opinion, but not only does not everyone agree, I think Biffley doesn't necessarily agree with that, but I also think even then, it doesn't make Kyle, it's not because Kyle's lame, it's because Simone's awesome. Simple as that, okay? Alright, back to your actually scripted part of the review that's going to be somewhat coherent. The pacing could probably be better. It goes really fast between ground to space, then Super Tengen Toppa barely appears, and then the final fist fight is really short, so that's also a little bit weird. But I think, while these are criticisms, and I would completely understand, especially among Kyle fans, if they really bothered them, for me, I was in here for Simone, so yes, there's a bit of a bias as a viewer, but I can't help that to some extent. There's also a ton of references you can spot in the fight, which is neat. I'm not here though, so David the Hero is going to get those divorce papers soon. And then there's the conclusion, which is probably the best conclusion of this season. It pretty much exactly matches what I thought it'd be, which is always satisfying as a viewer. My only potential question is the logic of saying Simone could just close the gap with Kyle through willpower by using an example where he fused with infinite versions of himself. Like, his transcendence over the multiversal labyrinth came because he fused with all those other iterations of Simone the Digger. Are we just gonna say that he can combine with more versions of himself that don't exist? Because I'm not sure how much I buy that it was pure willpower and not, you know, the fact that infinite Simones came together in this moment to transcend infinity. Not that it matters, because they immediately invalidate all of what was said there by bringing up reality fiction transcendence right after. I have basically no issues with the conclusion itself though. It's well paced, it explains itself great. I didn't think there was any contradictions in itself or with the analysis, and I think the generally now tiring category system is used much better here when they bounce between them and link them to the main one. That said, saying physical stats don't matter and then going into who has the bigger number anyway is a bit funny. So yeah, Simone vs Kyle fans, you've won. This is a beautiful episode that easily has taken the spot of my favorite of the year. Maybe one of my favorites of all time. And hey, I'm also really excited for that next time. Sure, it's another revealed matchup, but it's the one that I'm least bothered seeing because it's been confirmed for so long, as well as having advantages in that I have absolutely no idea how this could go just due to the lack of knowledge on either character's stats, abilities, resistances, and whatnot. And Death Battle is a great track record in cartoon character episodes like this. So yeah, surprisingly a bit light on things to say. I have many big projects I'm working on, including 2 ranking videos that both go above 100 entries though, and I will be discussing literally weeks worth of video content, maybe months for one of them. So I'll try to get back to those. Hope you're looking forward to it. And hey, if you're here for my iceberg content, a new entry just dropped. Go check that out too. I'll be seeing you. Have a good one, folks, and I do hope to get another iceberg part out this year. Yeah, so that would be that review done. A bit shorter than normal, as I said. Working on a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. Tell me what you thought below. Yeah, I really have nothing more to say. Thank you to everyone scrolling by for supporting me on Patreon. You're great as always. If you want to support me, you can. Link in the description to my Patreon. You'll get to see episodes or reviews like this early, as well as some other videos. And maybe say super stuff in my Patreon-only Discord server, which you can access, of course, for only $1. So yeah, let's just get to what the hell they want me to say. Oh, okay, you're gonna make me do a howl? Alright. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power! Green Lantern's light! What did Stickler sound like again? It was like...
It was kind of like this. Very nerdy, and I tell the devil he's an idiot. The Miners Royale!
It's terrible.
You dare bring light to my lair? You must die!
That voice really fits. That voice fits Atrocitus too well. What would Mothman even sound like? He's like West Virginian. What's a West Virginian accent? I don't know. I'm not gonna try to copy one. I think you'll find our will equal to yours. Oh. I don't know the Soldier Belk. I don't play TF2. You should know this. Okay.
Today fucking sucks. Tomorrow might not. Only one way to find out. Be there.
It's very true. So being a driller, well, I'm pretty sure it's like, that's just being a guy who digs into the ground with a drill. Being a lantern means I have all these powers. I am a cop though, so no, I'm not singing. I don't remember what their dub voices are like. If I tried to imitate the abridged voices I used, it would be terrible. Rayner and I are no longer dating. That's fucking bad. That's bad, man. Mate. It's terrible. You guys, You lads are all terrible. Alright, what's my son got for me?
Through dark times, hope rises and blossoms. I'll giggity Lois and create some green constructs. Green Lantern, baby.
I'm not doing it. I'm not rapping. You can't make me. No. So, this obviously would be the LGBTQIA plus spectrum. I'm very straight and very cis, so unfortunately, I am a pathetic normal Normanson. So I cannot say this. I would be lying to you, and I don't want to lie to you. No. Wait! Oh god. I've got a headache.
I shat the bed, and I still slept in it. We have been trying to reach you about your vehicle's extended warranty.
Why did I say warranty like that? Yeah, it was good. The thing is, Rousseau had a point. But something about the way he was portrayed, and, like, the portrayal of him during that, like, villain turn, made it come across like he's got no point and there's no merit to what he says. Like, that's kind of the vibe I got. And while it's definitely arguable how much merit he has and whether his merit is worth putting into practice, because, you know, it would cost a lot of people their lives and they will have no say in that. It's alright. Rousseau is my vote for a reason. I'm not singing! Fuck off! Oh, my boy's tried it again. He's trying it again. Like, what? Through dark times, hope rises and blossoms. I'll giggity Lois and create some green constructs. Green Lantern, baby. Remember every vow. Or next time you'll have a word with the Lantern Council. If shit like this happens, I'm wondering if I don't know the rest of this. I only ever listened to the first bit. Fuck them. There you go, boy. You're welcome, son. What? Well, I don't know where to go with this. Alright, have a good one, folks. I'll see you next time. Oh, well, at least I'm finally done with that. Hold on a second. Who sent me these DMs? What the fuck?
Whoa. Will of the drill? How about you with some bitches? My drill's the drill that did... My drill is the drill that did your mom.